Hey everyone, what's going on? So today, here by the water, check out this place. It is crazy. But yeah, just on some little school trip. But it was a sick background. I thought, yo, let's film here. And summer's coming to an end for me, and I'm gonna be going back to school. So I thought, hey, let's just quickly tap in and just talk about what's going on. Because I remember at the beginning of the summer, I made this video. I'll put like a link here, but it basically talked about how my self-improvement journey begins, for the summer of 2022. I have this journal, and I basically write down like everything in this journal, and it's crazy. You guys should be journaling too. If you aren't, you should start. I have a whole section where it's a habit tracker, and I basically write down every single habit that I want to maintain, and I'll tick it off every single day. And that really helps me keep in line with every single habit. And so the days where I sort of struggle, where I miss a lot of habits, I sort of figure out like, what's going on here. And then I also have like this mood tracker too, so it shows like the numbers of like how I was feeling that day. It's like, shoot, I found that there's correlation between maintaining my habits and a good mood. You know what I mean? So it's pretty interesting to find that, as well as being able to have those dates in my habit tracker. I'm able to look at my journal entries. So whenever I have a thought that is very interesting, very powerful, very important, I guess, to some sort of like monumental like thought process, I write it down in my journal. I put the date, and throughout all these months, I can see all the times where I was like improving in my habits. You know what I mean? And then I had these thought processes here, sort of like a revelation. You know what I mean? It's like I finally figured this thing out. And then there's other times where, maybe I'm slacking in my habits, mood's going off track, bro. I'm not sticking to, my prayers and like my scripture readings, you know what I mean? And then I find that, there's a lot of sins. And so when I look at those journal entries on those days, it's like, shoot, a lot of sins there, and a lot of struggles there. I think that's an important thing to do, to track our progress over time, right? Because now I can look back on those pages. If I'm dealing with the same struggle as I did like a couple months ago, I can look back, what did I write down? What was going through my mind last time, And I can really figure it out and just learn from those mistakes and improve and become better this time around. So I totally recommend doing something like that, tracking everything. It might be tedious. People might think, I'm not an organized person, so this is not for me. But I totally encourage you to try doing that and just like track everything down. It's quite crazy, and that's what this video is sort of for. I'm able to track my progress from that last video where I was talking about how I wanted to improve in my physical, my mental, and my spiritual states. And now I make this video, looking back on that one. Now 4 months into this grind, the whole summer's done. I'm a whole different person now. You know what I mean? And it's pretty interesting to make a video like this where you can see that progress over time, especially with the videos that I've been making. Every single video I make on this channel, it comes from my own experience. That's the why I make the videos that I make. I'm making them because I think they would help me, or they're things that I found that stuck out to me, thoughts that sort of like, oh shoot, this is crazy. I need to share this with people because it helped me. And so that's why I make these videos, And, fortunately, a few of these videos I made, they've been helping some of you. So that's what I'm super grateful for. And, hopefully I can continue doing this. I think that these type of vids where it's not exactly advice, but it's more so just like talking about life, just checking in. I feel like it sort of gives more relatability, maybe. Just being able to tap in like this and just talk to you like if I were talking to you in person, you know what I mean? But let's get back on track. I was sort of rambling there, but if I was to look back at where I was physically, let's start physically. We'll split off into 3 domains like I always talk about. Let's talk about the physical. For me, I tried out a lot of different things when it comes to the physical. So exercise and specifically, tried a lot of different things. I was able to maintain that lot, but I could have made more improvements if I was eating more, I think. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, currently. I mean, I'm at this camp right now, or this school thing, and I'm trying to feast like every single meal. I'm literally the last person eating. It's super awkward, but it is what it is, man. I'm trying to trying to bulk up, because like I swear like that's the only way. But that's how I plan to do, just bulk more. You know, working out, I love doing it, and you know it's easy for me to work out, but the eating part's that's the hard part. So that's what I need to do moving forward. That's what I've learned from this whole summer. You know what I mean? But when it comes to diet, you know, it's been good. You know, I eat some trash every once in a while. You know what I mean? You know, I'll eat like junk food or fast food, but I have been staying away from any drinks, such as like pops and alcohol. All those, you know, I don't do drugs, no drugs. So, but healthy in those regards, which I'm grateful for, and I think it's a great foundation to have. So that it for the physical, I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna keep moving. Let's talk about the mental. The mental is interesting. Dude, when I talk about meditation, I talk about it all the time. And if you haven't been starting doing it, go and do it. It is insane. Wow, I mean, I learned so much about meditation. I started, or I finished reading this book. It's called Mindfulness in Plain English. I'll put like the whole title and the author over there or something. But that was an incredible book. That was a crazy book. It just gave me so much more understanding of what I'm doing, what I should be doing. Where, you know, it's also important to note when it comes to meditation, I don't think there's any exact way, oh, you have to do meditation like this. Meditation's more fluid, I think. It's like you want to explore and learn for yourself what it means to be meditating. But I think this book was a great guide to help me like figure out one way to do it, which was Vipassana meditation or insight meditation. And dude, that's insane. Like the benefits are insane, bro. I'm just meditating for longer periods of time and I'm just like there. It's crazy because for Vipassana, you're just sitting there chilling, right? Focusing on that breath. When a thought comes in, you're mindful of that, right? And especially when it's a thought that is a bit more sinful, like from a Christian perspective. Maybe it's lust or anger or, I don't know, jealousy or something, you know what I mean? When those thoughts like come up and you actually feel those thoughts, I mean, I made a video on this, you can watch that, but when you actually feel those thoughts, it's insane how much you can learn about what is anger, what is lust. You know, sure, maybe we can define it with a couple words, but do you actually know what it feels like, what it like truly like, you know, happens in your body when that happens, the thoughts that come in your mind. So that's an interesting thing. And shoot, like it is quite insightful, exactly as its name suggests. I totally recommend. You know, that has been an insane increase in improvement over the summer. I mean, absolutely wild. Aside from meditation though, reading books, because knowledge is a pillar of mental health, you know, knowledge, increasing that knowledge, reading books. I tried to read some of the more important books. I thought, you know, I read Deep Work. I started that mindfulness book, started reading some other meditation book. I mean, I don't even know what I read. Yeah, but I read a bunch of books, you know. I could have done better on choosing which ones are best. Oh yeah, I did read a couple Christian books that I was reading with a group of guys. Shout out to you if you're watching this. But it was Common Rule. It was Life Together. Like those are sick. I think, especially the Common Rule. That was really great in helping me add in these spiritual habits. Because at the start, the summer, didn't have those spiritual habits. Then I added in kneeling prayers 3 times a day, scriptures before my phone. You know, meals with others. What else? You know, Sabbaths, 24-hour fasts. Forgetting a bunch of them. Like curating the media. A bunch of other things, but it's so important to add in those spiritual habits, and trying to maintain those can show such huge improvements in your spiritual health. And like I said, since all 3 domains are like entwined, it helps improvements with my physical and mental as well. So it's pretty crazy. What else? When it comes to mental health, I also think about nature. You know, that's also an important thing. I'm here right now. Spend some time in nature. And nature, I learned a lot about survival this summer. But you know, the first few months, I was really grinding on that, learning, like foraging, you know, practicing skills. And then after like maybe like a month ago, as I transitioned to more Christian topic videos, I sort of pushed away from that, just because, it's important to me, right? Because it helps like mental health. If you ever read about like Shinrin Yoku, I think it's called, which is like forest bathing, you could call it in English, where you just walk around the forest and there's just huge benefits, like mentally and and physically. It's incredibly special. So spending time in nature is truly important. But for me, I found that survival skills, they're great. I love practicing them, but there's other things I have to do. When I had work, I had other things, other responsibilities. So it's like, shoot, I can't go into the forest, for a couple hours every single day to practice some skills. Instead, I'll just walk around real quickly, go out for runs in nature or whatever. So it wasn't so specifically on survival, but I did get a lot of time out in nature and just enhancing my skills out here, my awareness, which is also a great thing to do. But yeah, it's great improvements. So much more to do, bro. So much more. So much to learn in nature, man. It's crazy. One day I'll become a forest druid. You know what I mean? But lastly, we have the spiritual domain. Oh, actually mentally, we can talk about emotions as well. Emotional health. You could consider it a different domain, but I join it in with mental just to make it easier. Emotional. If you haven't watched that video, go check it out. I literally talked to some of my understandings of emotions and just like how I came to terms with that and learned how to control them better. Definitely need more like what's the word? I need more practice, I mean, still tough. Sometimes, you get angry. Sometimes you are grumbling, which the Bible always says, stop your grumbling, or stop complaining all the time. I read this verses, what was it, Ephesians? It was like the verse where it was talking about slaves and their masters. And when, as a slave, as someone, I'm not a slave, but, when I'm working for someone, it says that whenever you work for your master or anyone on earth, see it like you're like working for Christ, and so you have to like do your best and be joyful, be grateful. Don't be grumbling all the time, and that's an incredible thing. That's an incredible insight to just remember all the time, because it's like, shoot, sometimes I find myself grumbling a lot. Oh man, I'm at work trying to do like my landscaping. It's like, shoot, man, I don't want to do this today, but I'm like, dude, I have to be grateful for the experience, the opportunities, and just really think positively about those things, and not be so like grumbling towards my boss or any my coworkers. Just be really as nice as I can, be kind, be loving, and spread that love that God outpours from us to other people. So that's an incredible insight, man. And let's talk more about spiritual now. I was able to go crazy with this, man. I feel like I improved a lot in my spiritual. I'm very strong right now, but at the same time, that you got to be ready for those dips, and that's what I fear. I know that in the past, whenever there's like a dip in my faith, whatever reason that may be, I have to be ready for that. So it's tough, I don't want to be here like getting all like super pumped up, making all these videos, and then all of a sudden something happens, my faith's low, and I just fall away, which would suck. So I'm trying to figure out, how can I be as strong as possible in my faith? How can I do that? And that means just keeping up with my spiritual disciplines, my habits. That means spending time with God, making that my priority, reading the Bible like a ton, bro. Dude, the Bible's insane. I've been reading this. I started off with like Acts or whatever, just reading through the New Testament and just like grinding through it every single day. It's so fun. I mean, like, there's so many ways to read the Bible. I want to make a video on this as well, but the way I've been doing it right now is I just read it, and whatever pops up, whatever like is important, that I find quickly. You know what I mean? I'm not studying it. I'm just reading it quickly. Find something that's important. I highlight that, and I start to remember those verses throughout my day. And I try to grind through as many chapters as I can with my spare time if I'm not doing anything else. And dude, it's crazy. I totally recommend doing this, because the more scriptures you read, the more you put in your mind, the more you think about it, the more you act it out, it just becomes more ingrained in you. And shoot, it's sick. It's sick. So yeah, just reading the Bible all the time. This is so sick, man. Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Go and just read it and just like learn from it and be amazed. I know that it can be hard sometimes when we're reading the Bible. I definitely had those times in my past where it was like, I'm reading it and it's just like, shoot, man, this is boring. It doesn't make sense. I don't want to do this. And you just like grumble all the time, but I'm still not sure exactly what to do, how to get out of that. I think it's just like forcing yourself to read until like the renewing of your mind like slowly change. God like slowly works through you until you're free from the resistance to the faith and the scriptures and whatnot, and the spiritual disciplines. That would be my advice. I think that's the only way. I mean, not the only way. That's our way. I'm not sure of other ways, but yeah, this is a long video. Shoot, didn't even notice. But hey, it's been an incredible summer for me. There's been some hard times in there. Been some struggles. Been some dips in my improvements, and we get past that. I think failure is an interesting thing when it comes to failure. We have sins as failure. You know what I mean? Like when you are trying to like not sin. I'm not trying to do this sin, and then you sin. That could be like a failure. Or maybe some other failures in life where it's like you tried to do something, you just failed at it. Maybe it's like a job interview or something, whatever, some relationship, whatever it is, and you just failed it. And it's like, I think a lot of people, especially myself back in the day, I would be sort of messed up after a failure, you know what I mean? Just fall off and be like, shoot, man, this sucks. And just like wallow around in my failures. But I've been learning to quickly get up now. Keep moving forward. I keep like saying this in my videos, like it's so important that we just keep moving forward. I literally like, you have to do this. Because failure is something that can really bind us, keep us in this spot, plateau us, or make us get worse. And we don't want that to happen, especially when it comes to spiritual failures. Maybe it's a particular sin that you just keep struggling with over and over and keep failing. The key is to remember the progress that you've made. See the failure as just like, shoot, I failed. Yes, come to God about it and be serious about that. But you need to understand that it's important to just go straight back to God. You know what I mean? Like just be like, hey, I messed up, but like God still loves you, and you're gonna keep trying and get better and learn from those mistakes. If you're not learning from the mistakes, and I don't know what you're doing, right? So learn from the mistakes. Like I said, journal, right? Like I said, track your progress, right? Learn from it, and you'll find such incredible growth when you do these things. That's so important when it comes to improvement, failure, seeing it in a different perspective. But I think that's it for this video, man. This is a long one, but this dog's going crazy. I don't know if you hear that. Oh man, dude. But I'm excited for what's to come. The school year's coming. Going back in person, it's gonna be crazy. Hopefully I can not compromise. I should make a video on no compromise. That's so crazy. It's easy to talk about faith and stuff, right? When you're in a space where you're not so in the battles, right? You're on the battlefield. When it comes to when you're on the battlefield, that's a different question, right? So I'm excited to see how that grows, those experiences that I'll have, and the lessons that I can share with you all. So that should be really interesting. But going forward, we're gonna be popping off like, dude, it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited to show you what's next, and to keep improving. At the end of the day, it's not just improving for improvement's sake or just to be a better person. It's not really like that. That's not what it's for. Of course, it's important that we try to become our best selves, right? 100%, that's important. And but if it's just that, then it's sort of useless, right? And that I feel like that's what when you see self-improvement, when you see that word, I feel like that's what you would think, right? Self-help, self-development, all these words which you improve for what? So you got to remember, keep things in perspective, right? The reasons why we try to improve is to do God's work better, right? To love Him better, to show love to others better. That's why I do these things, That's why I encourage you to do these things, because as a Christian, we're meant to show love to everybody around us and just spread that, positivity and share the gospel, right? We're not going to be able to do that if, our physical body sucks, right? We're like getting sick all the time, or we're just weak. That's just, that doesn't look good, right? I do struggle. I try to keep it real with you all, I try to share that in my videos. But we have to, like, if we're struggling with something, let's tackle it, let's not just leave it to the sidelines, right? And then just, I'm just, I feel this way, I'm always angry, but whatever, I'm not gonna deal with it. God's not gonna be able to use you to your fullest potential, right? If that happens, if you're struggling with a certain sin, God wants you to, like, get over with that, like, you move forward with this. There's so many incredible things that he has in wait for you. So, so many interesting things, but wow, improving ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for others, for God, and keeping that perspective in mind, we know that this is truly important, and that we can't just slack off every day. Like I say in my videos, we can forget to read our Bible today. I didn't feel like reading. I didn't feel like praying. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You can choose to do that, right? But at what cost, right? What are you sacrificing when you do that? What are you gaining when you do that? You know what I mean? And vice versa, in the opposite scenario. If you were to do those, keep up with those spiritual disciplines, then what do you gain? What do you lose? Keeping that in mind, I'm going to tell you to just keep going. And I'm excited to move forward in life. I mean, it's been sick. If you have any particular things that you would like me to talk about in my videos, make sure to comment below. I'm excited to do some things, but I have some ideas, not too many. Sort of ideas just pop up through experience, through like daily experiences. That's why I make those videos. So, I have to just wait for something to happen. You know what I mean? It's hard to think of something when it's not. I don't want to talk about a video topic if I'm not dealing with it myself. You know what I mean? Anyone can do that, right? But I think the lessons that I can give will be just different from everyone else because my experiences are different. And so, maybe, hopefully, this is what I hope, is that those videos, because they're different, because they're, uniquely experienced towards, my life, then maybe they can relate to you and be applicable to your own life. That's how I think about it. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but that's it for me, my video. Rambling on way too long, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining in on this. If you've been here since that last video where I'm the start of the summer, so grateful for you to be on this journey. I'm excited to see what's next, and keep on the grind. See you next time, y'all.